This is Gabriel Blythe, broadcasting on all frequencies to any and all survivors. I'm here in the Salt Lake area, and I'm feeling a lot better after those last 2 weeks. Thank you for asking, by the way. My head was just killing me, and I had a hard time keeping things down. Most of the last 2 weeks feels like a fever dream. I must have been super dehydrated. Don't know what it was I ate, but whatever it was, it just didn't agree with me. You know what sucks? Waking up alone. If you woke up this morning feeling desperately alone, I've got some news for you. You aren't. There's simultaneously more and less people still cognizant and not turned into one of the others. Do I wish there were more of us still walking around, able to recognize the world around them? Of course. But you have to find the good where you can. There are 4 of us right here, walking around, talking to each other. Some pettier than others, but it's nice to have some drama. And it's like everyday drama, too. Not just like, what am I gonna eat tomorrow? But drama like some bad soap. Elizabeth doesn't like me because she didn't eat the asparagus I made for her. So, it's stupid. RQ doesn't like Xander or Geharis, okay? Xander wants to maintain friendship with Geharis while making friends with RQ and myself. I like everyone, and Geharis doesn't care about anything. Or anything you say, at least. Classic emo vibes, if you ask me. Do I wish that I could make friends with Geharis? Of course! But sometimes you have to accept that people are who they are. You don't matter to them because they have so many things on their plate. And trying to force yourself on said plate will only frustrate them because they were focused on other things. That sounds like a terrible analogy, but you get what I'm saying. By forcing yourself into someone's life, you're only hurting your chances of connecting with them. And you're also harming yourself. Spending your precious time and energy trying to make something that's not meant to happen. It's not fair to anyone, really. Best way to fix it is to move on. I know, it stings. But you gotta allow yourself to be sad over the loss of potential and start on your journey again. And be ready for things to change. Just because that plate is full now doesn't mean it always will be. Oh, speak of the devil. Hey there, Geharis.
Gabriel.
How are you doing today?
I am fine. What are you planning today?
Nothing. Just doing my broadcast. What brings you here?
I was making sure you were safe. There's still increased activity of the blast. What do you call them?
Others.
The demon witch had a better name.
Mindless ones.
Yes. That is much more apt. I've seen more of them around the campus, and I wanted to make sure the building was secure. Our mission would be a failure if you were taken by them.
Charming. You want to come in and talk for a bit?
About what?
I don't know. Not work stuff? I know it's very hush-hush, and I don't want to push that. We can talk about things that aren't crown-related.
I've already told you my history.
Sure, but who is Geharis? Your history was very brief. I'd love to just chat.
Okay. What do we chat about?
What's something you miss from the old world?
Do you mean from back home, or before your self-proclaimed event?
Both?
I miss our base. It has this sense of calm to it. Even before it was busy with all those people, this was je ne sais quoi, a peace. We were all working to make the world better. The chaos was all aimed to keep in order.
Depends on who you ask. Because boy, does RQ not like the work you do.
Not uncommon.
Is the work hard?
Only if you're weak.
Jeez, man.
It was a joke. From earlier, when I called you weak and...
Oh, yeah, right, I got it. Good callback. Very good. What about before the event?
Music.
Really?
Is that the wrong answer?
No. I was just surprised. I didn't expect something so human.
It doesn't hurt or help the mission. So telling you this thing won't affect the grand scheme. I miss music.
You know, when I pictured us finally talking, I didn't picture music being something you enjoyed. I thought more of a structure, like if you said board games, it would be the ones that have strict set of rules, a black and white win-lose kind of thing, or how you have a list of lists that organize everything you own.
Not an impossible image for me. But the thing I miss is music.
What kind of music?
It varies. I won't say a little bit of everything. I despise people who are so inconsistent. I mostly enjoy music that doesn't have a lot of vocals. This may come as a shock, but video game music is something I usually find most appealing.
Why would that be the shock?
Mainly...
Because you get the, women don't play video games.
That is a common argument, yes. I also don't have time to invest in games, so I get questioned as if I'm not allowed to know about them. But I find the music is often some of the most compelling. I'm always fascinated by how they can compose something that can perfectly manipulate your feelings to fit the motif of the campaign.
Do you have any favorites?
Much like anyone, it changes depending on where I was in my life. When I was running my business, it was those high fantasy games from Japan, sweeping orchestrals that are soft, to a moving anthem of victory and battle, inspiring motivation despite everything. But when I was in my spiral and wanting it to end, I really found solace in music that matched those two feelings. The games that feel impossible to win. Something about your soul. They felt like you were truly lost. I always wanted to compose my own music.
Tell me about it.
Before I found my true calling, I was in a small orchestra. I played an instrument or two, and I loved it so much. Granted, it wasn't the same satisfaction as robbing the convenience store. It was fulfilling. Following the scales, listening for the resolved melody, knowing I created something from nothing. I worked as an individual to build something with a whole group of people, a harmony in more ways than one, a beautiful cacophony of noise to make the halls ring, only to leave it in pure silence once again.
Sounds beautiful. Do you still play?
No.
Too busy?
It was a pursuit of a child. I'm a part of the real world.
Sure, but do you think you would have made it a career, making music?
I would rather go back to thinking my food was poisoned nightly.
Is the music industry that cutthroat?
It may not be life or death, but try convincing your body and mind that it's not.
Well, if you think about it, you might be the last musician on Earth. Maybe when all of this is done, you can create music.
You stick with your dreams, Gabriel. I'll stay here in reality. This has been a fun distraction. Thank you for inviting me in. I have other duties to attend to.
Of course. I would hate to take away from the task at hand. Oh, and Geharis, thanks for sharing all of that. You didn't have to, and I appreciate the time you gave me.
Danielle, if I'm stuck with you, call me by my name. Good day.
And with that, we've made progress. Just freaking manifest it into the universe and let it be. Can you believe it, Survivor? I feel like I unlocked the jackpot. First name basis and everything. I guess maybe I should stop telling you where it's safe. Maybe some reverse psychology or something. I don't know. I'm still in shock. What's your music of choice? And yes, I'm one of those people who likes a little bit of everything. Don't think it's true? Well, you can just come and test me on that. You know where to find me. Find us. You aren't alone. And you don't have to be.